I came on this trip because I knew Travis, the leader, and in the short time that I had known him, he had inspired me a whole lot, and I knew that this trip would be an opportunity to sort of to just let that inspiration push me into action and sort of hopefully be a jumping point for starting point for when I got back. So we went on a hike and ended up at a pool with a spectacularly beautiful waterfall. And right next to the waterfall was a cliff that was probably 18-20 feet above the surface water. And of course all the boys in the group just rushed to jump off everything high they can and show off, and very adventurous. And I was like, I could do that. It would be okay if I did that. That would be something I could tell my kids if I jumped off this cool cliff in Costa Rica and it was freeing and everything. So clinging, like my first step up the wall, clinging to this rock wall, and I lose my footing and I fall down the cliff wall, and not just to the base of the cliff wall, but continue to slide down the waterfall and tumble violently into the water. At least it seemed so in from my perspective.
We all pooped our pants.
It was very scary, and it was a moment where I was out of control, and sort of like one of those, you see your life flash before your eyes, and I was okay. Skid up my knee and bruised my butt, but I got up out of the water and I sat, and I was really disappointed that I didn't make the climb to be able to jump. So I sat for a while and I went through a little bit of a cycle of, after having done something that that really scared me, I cried and I breathed and I calmed myself down, and then I thought to myself, I'm not leaving this place having failed at a task that was really going to resonate with me. So I got back up and decided I was gonna climb the wall again, and went over there, and with boys' help I was able to climb up the wall. And when I got to the top of that 20-foot cliff, I didn't hesitate and I jumped right off, and it was an amazing feeling after having failed, being able to get back up and accomplish that. So that is something that will forever stick with me. This whole week has been about our perspectives and our opinions on anything, on topics that we don't talk about in everyday life, that people sort of skirt around. And everyone's opinion here is valued and is okay, and people want to hear it, and people want to help you work through those complicated thoughts or those complicated feelings. And I think that's really rare and really special. This trip has made me realize I am a brave person. I have done things on this trip that I never thought I would do before, and it feels really good, and I feel like I can go home with that power ignited in me, and I can accomplish things that have, throughout the day that normally give me anxiety or scare me. And if I can do the things here that I've done, then I can go home and I can conquer everyday life. And coming into this trip, you cannot think of yourself as a separate entity or someone who is above expressing those emotions or something, because you will cry on this trip. You will cry happy tears, and you will cry sad tears, and you will cry scared tears, and you will cry laughter tears. It's all going to happen. And if you come into this trip thinking like, you know that you're not someone who shares that with other people, we want to share those experiences here, and that's part of this group and this community and these connections that you build for an entire lifetime. So I think today we're almost encouraged to have this selfish, independent mentality in everything that we do, and we've lost the sense of community in a lot of ways. And coming on this trip before this trip I was very, I wouldn't say self-centered, but I was motivated for myself. I wanted to do good things for other people, but I saw that happening through my accomplishments and how I succeeded. And this trip has made me realize that there's more power in believing in yourself and taking action and having the motivation when you have a connection with other people who want those same things and who encourage you. And if the entire world understood this experience and had those connections and that community sense, and were willing to build and, you know, forge those relationships with people of different perspective who ultimately all want the same thing, there's so much we could get done just because we understand each other's motives, and because, you know, we're all here for a long time, and there's just no reason to go it alone. I would say a Hearth Trek is, you know, a journey where people from all different backgrounds and points in life come together, and they start at the same place. We're all, you know, no one is higher up than anyone else in this week-long, 3-day-long, 1-day-long time period, whatever it is. We're all starting at the same place. We're all equals, and we're all here for, you know, a common experience. And I think a Hearth Trek is ultimately the building of community through that sense of equality and mutual understanding. I'm a freshman in college right now, and I'm learning a lot about, you know, stuff in the world. I've been to school for 13 years now, and on this trip I've learned more about the world and about myself than I really thought was possible. And it's changed my entire, you know, outlook on how I need to approach challenges and my goals and, you know, just everyday life. And I think that is a necessity for everyone in one way or another, to have an experience that you need to learn about yourself and about the people around you, not just facts